fix shit. We fixing shit. Like y'all go hear us fix it, get it together. We're gonna get a little bit of this doom in our lives. That sounded dark. I mean,
Get a little doom in your life.
shit. It sounded like the end of the fucking world. Like, we've had enough of that. That already happened this year.
I was about to say, that's what the theme of this year was. Everybody thought the world was going to come to an end.
Anywho, you guys, how you doing? Clearly, you see us in here. Rest in peace to the late great.
Very late, like just out of nowhere, super recent. I mean, that's kind of been the theme of the whole year is people passing unexpectedly.
Yeah, that was like, I mean, it's on clearly not, you're not on like fucking deathradar.com. Who's gonna die today, folks? But like, I definitely was like, damn, I didn't even see that. Like, that shit just like came up on like on the feed maybe like, you know, a couple hours ago, and I was like, damn, nigga, MF Doom died. Like, what the fuck?
Who out there writing death notes?
Yeah, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, y'all ain't took one of these motherfuckers that need to go yet, which is just also, you know, bigger plan and, you know, like, you know, mysterious ways, but you gonna have to get a little more regular with these ways, my nigga. Like, shit, pop these motherfuckers.
Unfortunately, like you said, when Thanos talked about perfect balance, that means some of these motherfuckers had to stay.
I'm saying.
Although we would not like them to, because McConnell's still floating around here looking like...
Man, and like just refuse. You know what's the crazy thing is like, you know, maybe I don't think Mitch has like a great diet, but it just seems like don't matter. Like niggas be looking like death on the outside, but they refuse to die.
He got the antidote.
Yeah.
So he got it from somebody. I don't know who. We need to find him over there, sold it to him, because I don't appreciate you still being here, sir. And I don't want to seem like I like wishing death on somebody. It just seems
look,
terrible, but you are actively going against the betterment of all people here.
Yeah, it's like, it's not even like that type of like subtle racism or shit that you can kind of be like, well, you know, he's doing his job. Mitch is just like, I don't fuck with these niggas, nigga. Shit.
It ain't even that. I don't fuck with none of y'all. Like,
yeah, I just want you poor.
You poor people.
Yeah,
you peasants.
Poor, classless.
You peons.
Yeah, I just want y'all to. Yeah, his shit is like, I just want you fucking.
I just want you out of my space
to die.
That's what I want.
You know, I'm trying to own half of Australia already. You motherfuckers just keep living like
you could have went there first with your ancestors instead of coming here and doing.
Yeah, I specifically went to the fucking end of the world meeting so that we can get, you know, this shit popping, and you motherfuckers just won't die. Like, you just keep wanting things, and that's, I don't want to do that
at all. And well, whatever.
Pretty much. You know,
he's still here. I mean, the Donald has been here the entire time. The whole 4 years we've been wishing something happened. It didn't. So.
You know what? That was one thing that, like, I think that was talked about on some other podcast I was listening to, but like, or no, it was the Schultz thing, and he talked about they're going in and out. I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say,
no,
what?
It's not just you.
It's just one side too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Slide to the left.
But no, it was Schultz, and Schultz talked about like this was like the year of the conspiracy theorists,
right?
Where it just was like, and that was kind of one of those things. Like, he's got the antidote. I'm really just here to you know, make sure that my end of the world party pops off. Like, I was playing fucking Hitman a couple weeks ago, and like one of the missions, like, you're trying to kill all these rich upper crust people who like have their fingers on the world and are all part of some super cult. And part of the theme in there is like they're preparing for the end of the world, and it's like that was one of the, I don't know if I could say good things, but I think better things that might have happened amidst all the shit that happened this year, because it makes it so like, hey, this information where is really where a lot of truth lies, and everybody just fluffs it off because it's easier. Like, 2020 made you have to go, shit, bro, motherfuckers is dying. I gotta really tap in with them, because you motherfuckers on TV are really, really not telling the truth.
Right.
And we're really, really out here like dying, or stats are fucking skewed and shit. But this motherfucker who's, you know, laying on top of a box of books on YouTube with very grainy imagery, he might not have bathed, but he might know what the fuck he talking about. You know, that's just, and that's what 2020, like, you know, everything isn't a shit show here.
Right. But the sad part is, even though that person may be saying the truth, they were still blocking those videos. Mm-hmm. Like the conspiracy videos have been up for a long time. It's nothing new.
You know, lizard people.
But for some reason this year, there was a lot of, we're taking that down. We're blocking that. We're getting rid of that. Let's go ahead and move this out the way. Oh, that's some type of speech that we don't condone. Let's get that out of here. Meanwhile, all the overtly racist stuff gets to stay.
See, shit like that is why I was like, you know what? Like, not to sound, I can't sound comedian-ish because that nigga's like dark as fuck. But it's like, it's like, that is like a, as I've been kind of sitting here, because I know everybody who's saying anything and has a show or any platform near or around, you know, fucking New Year's is going to have to say, like, this was a great year, this was a shit year, what you do. But yeah, we can do that, we can bust it open, but it's like, there was good shit that came out of this, like, you know, I've seen the meme going around like, if 2021 didn't teach you how to hustle, then hustle ain't in you. And it's like, nigga, 2021 I was depressed. Nigga, suck my ass. Like, what the fuck? 2021, like, I didn't commit suicide. Very proud of it. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? But 2021 did make you go, hey, man, you know, like, you had to really, like, get deep in it. Oh, that's bullshit. Nah, nigga, it isn't. Like, had to get a couple bodies hitting the floor, and now y'all like, hey, man, that shit don't sound as crazy as... You know,
I'll say,
Deep State 2025 had a point.
Did it though? Because we keep saying it made people have to, and it should have. But did it really make people have to? Like, do you really think that there was an abundance of people this year that really sat back and tried to learn the lessons that they could have learned?
Abundance, no. I'm also starting from a space of like, you know, not even cup half empty, like our cup half full, like our cup was fully empty. So for me, we poured a couple drops, bro, that, because we was parched. Like, I'm like, it usually when that's said, people like, you know, oh, the drink is full, we have enough for everybody. No, we still have one cup.
Right.
And it's a dirty cup, and it's a dirty cup with this much water in it. But last year, the cup was empty. So in my mind, it's like, oh no, we don't have an abundance. We have 10,000, where in my mind, we used to have 10.
Right.
So that's where I'm like, all right, well, shit, you know, that's it. That's the best we got. Like, there's not 100 X-Men. Well, yeah, there isn't, like, but like, you know, and when you look at back to back, like, you know, it's like 100 per like 8 million regular humans. So if you're gonna be one of, not even special, just if it was that much of an abundance, we just wouldn't be in the situation. Like, it would be somebody who's, if it was an abundance, people who can move and shake, as well as people whose job it is to just make sure everybody had, you know, cups of water to drink. They would all be like, this is bullshit as a team, and we all don't like this shit. We're all going to wrap this shit up together. You see how they get, like, on the other side, like, when they like, oh, we want to get shit done and wrapped up, shit gets done, and shit gets wrapped the fuck up. So there's not enough, because shit's still out, and nothing's wrapped the fuck up.
Not at all. I don't even think it's for lack of trying, though, because I think throughout this year, all around the world, lots of people have gathered together in one shape, form, or fashion, whether they're on one side or whether they're on the other side, doesn't really matter. But the theme of this year was groups coming together to express some sort of whatever viewpoint, perspective, preference towards something, which is good-ish. I mean, you do have some groups. Granted, we're on one side of the spectrum.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man, because a group of whites, like, you know, a group of 5 white guys over that number, I'm way, fuck y'all. Hey, man, you know, shit. I better hear some Metallica or some shit soon, or it's weird in this motherfucker. I'm shook.
Wherever 3 or more are gathered in the name.
Yep, I better hear that, or I better hear somebody talking about,
it's a clans meeting.
Yeah, I need to hear, like, the word refinance or something. I need to hear some, you know.
Nah, I don't want to hear no refinancing. Not from that group.
No. From
our group, yes, we can talk about refinancing. From that group, whenever refinancing is coming into play, I think of gentrification.
Take your shit.
Yeah, no, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear none of that. But I would say, in the midst of all the perceived negativity, the actual negativity, the perceived goings on higher above our head that we know nothing about, and the actual things that we had the ability to see and be proven, I will say, we should have learned a lot, and we did learn a lot whether or not we wanted to. There are a lot of people that they didn't utilize the year the way they should have. Now, that's subjective, but a lot of people were focused on other things. A lot of people didn't care. A lot of people they're not really at that point in their life on their own personal journey to where they understand all these different symbols that could have come into their life this year. Maybe next year is the year that's going to reveal that to them. Who knows? This year could be a setup for them, and next year is the big reveal. I don't know, but at least they had the ability to still learn something, whether you want to or not. This year forced everybody to learn something, as opposed to us just blindly floating in ignorance.
I think it would definitely teach to be like more grateful next year. Yeah. Everybody always acts like 2020, whatever, it's gonna be my super year. It's gonna be amazingly better. And it's like, yo, man, if y'all just motherfuckers don't like 2021, we'll be happy to like, oh, hey, it's me and 6 of my friends were able to go to a restaurant together. Like, that's great. Like 2021 is immediately the best year.
Right.
But like, I don't think people should put. I think there's sometimes a bit of pressure that goes into 2021 is gonna be my amazing breakout whatever year, and it turns out like somebody said that in 2019 and 2020 happened. So like
that's exactly where I was about to go with this.
Yeah. So just be, not being proud of things, but I think it would learn to be like, let me be proud of like the now, these small little victories, and that shit. It builds instead of just like I'm finna hit a super lick 2021 and then fucking aliens show up tomorrow and be like, gotcha, bitch. Like,
for some people that said that in 2019, they were actually correct though. In the midst of all the craziness, some people, they did have the ability to surpass where they were before. They definitely gathered their abundance this year. It's always possible. And that's kind of where I was going to lead to as far as this year, next year. Every year somebody says this is going to be my year. Everybody's goal at the end of the year is to say next year is going to bring me all sorts of abundance. Next year is going to bring me all types of positivity. And just like every other year that has happened, some are correct, some are not. We don't know.
I think I can make a distinction between those who are and are not, though. Because if you wasn't really putting in the licks, if you wasn't putting in the licks for 2021 and 2018, like 2020 is probably not gonna be your like flat breakout year. Now,
I'm gonna start in 2021 and it's gonna blow up in 2021.
Yeah, like if somebody says like, "Wow, man, I think 2021 is gonna really hit," but you were like on it in 2017. Oh yeah, your shit's probably like you have like way better probability of this shit going like ape shit. But if 2020 is really like I'm thinking I'm about to pop off, and then I was devoid of sleep for 3 days, staying in a talk group on Clubhouse, and that's gonna like I don't like it might or it might not, just.
Or the person that created Clubhouse.
That motherfucker's like I don't know like who made that thing, but
and released it in the midst of COVID.
Oh, their dick is getting super sucked. Like they're sucked and they're super sucked. And whoever made Clubhouse dick is getting super sucked.
While everybody else is preparing to, how can I utilize this to put me over? Or how can I shift to this perspective? This is the new hot thing. Whatever the case is, some people, like you're saying, they're preparing now for what they're trying to look forward to in the near future. Whereas somebody long before this was like, light bulb. Let me go ahead and turn that on.
Yeah, the new you is like stocks. Like it's like stocks. That's
great, because that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, people treat it like gambling, but the shit is like stocks.
It's like stocks. Because if you look at, now granted, I look at my stocks every day. I'm not really day trading, but I look every day just to see where I can pull from, where I can add to, what I need to pay attention to.
Like weekly, I'd be kind of like, because I feel like I'm going to turn into that guy if I'm like every day. Like,
oh yeah, no, I don't frantically do it. Sometimes I can. Okay, this will take a couple days for this to switch over. Just like most stocks have been down, especially mine, for the last couple weeks. But I understand it's the end of the year, so let me figure out how I can shift things around. This is when I'm starting to put into play like whatever stocks that. When I first started, I hastily bought at the wrong time. Mm-hmm. I should have bought when they were low, and I may have bought when they were high. So now that they're low, my percentage is over. They may be down 10%, but I'm losing 12% because I bought at the wrong time. So it's like, all right, let me sell at this time and then rebuy at this price so that when it starts to climb, I'll be able to be either above the curve or at whatever. But I'm putting, to speak to the concept of right now, I'm putting the time in now so that later on it will end up being changed. But I bring up the whole stock analogy because if you look at stocks like, say, Zoom, a year and a half ago, Zoom was like $5 a stock, whereas now it's hundreds of dollars a stock. If somebody had enough foresight to say, you know what, this is going to be a thing that's going to be beneficial, or even if that in 2019 at the end to be like, as soon as China said, we're having a pandemic, people need to lock down, America should do the same. Somebody was like, ooh, Zoom,
That's where the fucking like conspiracy shit would like go off. Because in my mind, it's like, okay, you hear how they knew about the virus a little early, like especially if you're in like the presidential rooms, and all you niggas are in these rooms are at the very least way high 100,000-aires, and it's like you're like, damn, I know how this works. I know pandemic gonna hit. We're gonna be unprepared. People will not be able to go outside. How do you communicate? Somebody, like, I feel like there's just a little cabal and they have shell companies so you can't trace it back to them. But, like, they knew that plan. They're like, just money that we not even, like, making sense because they just said, put 500,000 on something.
Here's the great part about 2020. Like you said, it exposed a lot and forced a lot of people to learn. They didn't hide it very well because there's a lot of politicians that we found out. You got wind of this stuff when COVID first broke overseas, and you moved a lot of shares before they started affecting things, and now you've made even more money in the midst of a pandemic, and you're on the board to make decisions about everybody else's money. You secured your bag as you're taking money out of everybody else's.
Man.
And we were able to see that. Now, especially within our community, within the black community, we know people have been doing this. This is nothing new. We know they shortchange us. We know that they set up these type of systems to benefit themselves and shortchange us. But this is the first time that the whole country, even the whole world in some respects, was able to see, hey, y'all some shady motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
And that spurred everybody having to vote. People paying more attention to local elections and things of that nature. So in the midst of all this negativity that has been going on for Lord knows how long, for generations, people got hip to things and they decided to, y'all ain't even hiding it good no more. Yeah, we got to get that up out of there.
That's what I saw. It was like 2020 wasn't the worst year. It was just the one that was the best documented.
Yeah. Like
it's been trash shit going on. Wild trash shit every year. And it's just like, nah, man, this is the one that niggas fucked around. And you didn't cut your motherfucking camera off? God damn, Earl.
Right.
Fuck, man.
Didn't you see just 2 days ago? We just discussed this, and here you are.
Even with Corona, not saying that it's not serious. We've had this conversation 1,000 times, but Corona has definitely taken like the front seat, emblem, and driver's seat of 2020. But when people thought about, every virus is different, every sickness has its best, whatever, but I remember the mention. I was like, I remember living through like when the like Ebola scare was big, and then SARS was big, and then it was like, this might have been the one that, not that it's not killing people, but nobody really like pulls out on a regular basis. I wasn't getting like fucking pinged or whatever every time somebody died from like SARS or some shit. So somebody could have done the numbers, somebody could have not done the numbers, somebody could have skewed the numbers, like. Not to just live in a state of fuck everything, but I feel like it does make everybody have those kind of questions and conversations. That way you will eventually have to keep these motherfuckers who are really supposed to do this data, you keep them honest. It's not just ask questions to be like, now we can't trust anything. It's to be like, we're actively watching you. That's like if I'm in the back, like bullshitting on class. If I know the teacher watching me, I got to really, damn. I'm on 12. I promise I'm on 12. I'm not fucking around no more, bro. Like,
I mean, that's part of the beauty of the year. Because prior to this year, it was two extremes. People that were in the know and people that knew but look crazy because you're saying something that people don't believe. This year was the blending of two where people got to see exactly how true that was. So even going back to the stats of COVID. Oh, we're fear-mongering because we're putting out all this information about COVID 24/7. And then people started fact-checking stuff and saying, oh, no, it's not really happening how you guys are saying it. Now, granted, that did create some of the monsters that are, I'm not wearing a mask, it's not real. This thing was released by the Chinese. Well, it did create some extremists in some regards.
Also,
but
our president calling it the Chinese virus every chance he gets.
The Chinese. It came from China. Like, sir. Even though that may have some validity still. But the ability to be in what we call the information age now gave us, let me hold you accountable to that, because you're releasing information and I don't know if that's 100% true, which I got people doing that to me on shit that I repost. Like, show the whole story. No, that's not my job. I'm posting this because it's funny.
That's the thing too. Like, it takes fucking, I don't know, not even minutes. It takes you a couple seconds to click it, and then there's a fucking, most times in the caption, they're like, let us give you a good portion because we know you niggas not going to go and click the article. I'll click the article, but sometimes I'm like, oh, thank you. You gave me what I needed in the set. But, like, it takes nothing for you to go, that's not as bullshit as I thought. Because I have been that nigga. I'm like, that's motherfucking, ooh.
You get all the extra context when you read it yourself.
That ain't motherfucking. That's, I mean, I didn't like it. I don't really like it now, but it's not the same. This has some valid shit. It's
right. And even if I've posted something, especially as it pertains to the vaccine, because I'll post shit making fun of the whole y'all taking the vaccine.
I always laugh at you because I know your shit get hit.
Yeah. So I mean, I post it. I'm not quiet at all about the fact I'm not getting it. Don't want it. Have no value in it in my life. Do what you want. That's entirely up to you. But when I do post things, I still, even though I'm making fun of it, I'm also giving you, like, this is from this place. You can go find it for yourself. Read all the extra context. I don't want to have a debate about it. I don't want to have this back and forth. I've already took my stance. I'm good. Go look for yourself. Even if it's not 100% framed the way you want it to be, you can still look here. It says right here, this is an ABC News article. Go find it there. I'm not ABC News.
That's a mood to bring, either to bring in, or I don't know, but just a good amount of, like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, it's just like, I'm not going, some things, you know, clearly with this, even with this space and just in general, I try to, like, okay, man, today I have energy, today we should have, like, an open dialogue about it. But I don't know, man, some things, it's like, because I feel like some conversations are missed or fumbled because everybody gets into, like, a, you know, it gets emotional. It gets a fuck you, fuck me thing and
right.
whatever. And facts start, one, like, you know, depending on the scenario. One, this is not like a solution-based thing. Two, it's not like in the realm of like a corona or anything like news-wise that affects a certain population. Nigga, certain shit is like, these are facts. And like, it's okay sometimes to just go, I'm not really finna go back and forth with this motherfucker. Like, you can see from jump, there's no talking. It's like talking to a wall. Like, that's not giving up. That's just, I'm gonna put my energy elsewhere.
Right.
If anything, I would maybe make it like, let's not engage with this motherfucker so much. I'm talking to really us black people because I feel like we should leave this alone. Like, if somebody walks up to you and says, hey, nigger, beat their ass off top, like fucking suplex them. It's lovely. If you get on a fucking post and you see the poster is Blue Lives 55722, and the people liking it is, you know, Karen Swartz 18225, and the dude in the back is like, you know, American Rebel, you know, SRT or whatever, like, you know, because I drive. Like, if you see that motherfucker in the comments, you're dumb as fuck for engaging with that. You know full well who
you are not about to change anything.
You're not gonna change their mind. You're not gonna help them. You're not gonna like read them to feel. You're not doing any of that. You're wasting time.
You're doing that to basically fill your own needs, which still aren't going to get met. 'Cause I told them, but they weren't going to listen from jump. You can present all the best facts you want, as much facts as we have during this day. And that kind of goes back to what I said earlier. If I can find all the facts for something, you can equally find all the facts against it as well. Like, we've been highly informed and misinformed all at the same time.
That was said on... as much as I make fun of this, I be trying to use it a little bit. I was on the clubhouse, as Joe calls it, the chatty house. I was on the chatty house, and they were talking, and 19 Keys was up there talking, and he said something that was like, he said a lot, and I'm not gonna lie, I tuned in and tuned out because it was like, I was like, damn, they giving this nigga the floor, like, shit. But he basically said a lot of times, even if there is flat out 100% right information, there's just too much information out there where people are just posting shit basically to confirm their bias.
Right.
If I think it's not real, then I'm going to go find information that confirms my bias. Very seldom do people go to look for information or opinions or whatever that challenge whatever the fuck they're believing in. It's, I want to go find this and the outlets and the resources that I already subconsciously or consciously know confirm what I already want to believe. I just want somebody to say it fancier than I do.
Right.
So I can just be like, told you, bitch.
Right. Ha. Nelson Muntz status. I would do the voice, but I don't feel like doing it right now. Yeah, there you go.
Somebody hire us. All right, that's it.
But I would like, so transitioning from what we have seen to what I would like to see in this new year. I would like to see us be more unified in the information that we are getting and sharing. I know that's a bit of a stretch because we're all getting different information. We're all looking for different information. We all have different perspectives, which is going to shape light bulb. We all have different perspectives that are going to shape the information that we are seeking. But I would like for us, for our community specifically, those that have brown pigmentation in their skin, I would like for us to be at least somewhat on the same side of the spectrum. Not going a whole % on one accord. We don't all need to be at 10. But if we can all fluctuate somewhere between 5 and 10 this upcoming year, both personally, culturally, societally, and, as individuals, that would be nice. That's one of many things I'd like to see. But
yeah, it'd be like, like a unified black man nod. Like, I just feel like because I realize, it shouldn't it's pretty good in general, but I felt it get spiced. Like, it's like, hey, especially when like the protests and shit was happening, you catch a motherfucker, and it was, if me and this motherfucker are cross, we are cross produce, and nigga said, I said, yep, if it go up, it's you and me.
You and I, so.
Just so we know, like, okay, you get your peanuts, I'm going to grab the motherfucking carrots, and then we going to just angle this shit and, keep me in your sights.
Right.
So, once again, like another positive way that, it was from a shit show, and shit's not great, but connect. But
just in case this shit jump off, grab them cans of hard iced tea.
Man, hard fucking iced tea the shit out of motherfucker, bro. I want to get a gun and really have that like as the decal on. You that nigga like.
That would be dope.
It's also blue and gold, really good.
Shout out to this year, because even in the midst of bullshit, I was able to submit my paperwork and get it back that I am approved to get my firearm.
Bang.
So I'm happy that, now granted, it still doesn't change the fact that when I decide to buy one, I still got to get a background check, but at least it lets the government know that I put in this application and they said I was good. I got this documentation. You can do the background check all you want to. They already did it.
Man, just to get it out there for the haters, and as this explodes and people go, oh my God, they're mental health professionals and they're supposed to help you with it. Look, I will help you with your trauma. And I put some physical trauma on your ass. You fuck around with me, so it's it's duality around this bitch.
My job is to help you understand your trauma, and my job as a knowing healthcare professional within the mental health space is to avoid additional traumas in my life.
Yep.
However, that has to happen. Of course, in the grand scheme of spirituality, I'm not trying to speak this negativity of me having to use it.
No, man, I get you closer to God. All right, I can proud boy, proud Karens, get y'all closer to the Lord. All right,
Kens and Karens,
yep,
couples alike.
Yeah, man, spirituality. Let's go ahead and get you up there. I'm gonna get you a jump start. I'm gonna push, nice, get on out there.
See, he's a lot nicer than me. I'm gonna go Lil Wayne status on you. Nice arm, leg, arm, and I'm hoping that I don't have to hit you in the head.
That's it.
I'm not. I do not want to.
Shooting.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt you much. I just want to scare you enough to let you know this is not the place to be. Now, granted, I don't foresee ever having to need it unless shit jumps off.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we don't have to get to that point, but it's also a good asset to know. Like that was part of the reminder of this year.
If we had preventative measures, we probably wouldn't be in a lot of shit this year.
That was part of the reminders of this year, because we. Even with, Mr. Rittenhouse, that's somebody that was born prepared to utilize this thing, and when it got bad, he used it. If we had the same ability, and I don't mean like I bought guns to have them in my rap video and I can't hit a target that's 10 feet away from me, not for show. Like if you were actually trained to have this ability, those type of situations probably wouldn't happen.
Yes.
So learning something, figuring out this year what we, in the words of Killer Mike, learn how to plant, learn how to farm, learn how to grow your own food.
Organize, mobilize, strategy.
Right.
I said those out of order.
It doesn't matter. It's all important shit. But learning how to do these things, learning how to control a weapon, get them hands crispy, get that trigger finger, get that aim right, figure out how to grow some food.
I think that is something I'm going to go into this year. Is just like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just get
I got to get back into. I've already said that. Now, granted, I haven't lost much, which is good in comparison to where.
But you just want to be crispy. Like.
In comparison to where I was years ago, it's not because I haven't actively trained. I'm not about to get nated out here for sure. But definitely, that's something I've said all year, like, just in case, I don't want to have to rely on this weapon if I do have it. Because say it's a bunch of motherfuckers in me. If it's zombie apocalypse, the gun get knocked out your hand, you still got to know how to use something to defend yourself.
You know what? This is complete sidebar. You know when you watch, like, any of the fucking, like, zombie things, you know when nobody ever goes when the shit starts to jump off or gets weird? Nobody ever visits those, like, geek sword stores in the mall. I would fucking raid that bitch. Because, like, that's my go-to. Like, Michonne showed us, like, if you want to slide through places and kind of kill these I just want to, even if it, like a swift stab through the brain,
look,
it's not
I
no
got
noise.
6 feet or more worth of distance between you and my body. But, again, people would have to think about getting to the mall in the first place.
Yeah.
Because most people think, oh, if that was me, I'm going to pick up some, sir.
Yeah, everybody goes like, I'd get the shotgun. I'm like, so fucking they can hear you for 10 miles out? You're going to be extra dead.
That's stupid.
Yeah, what zombie apocalypse are you?
As many years as you've heard somebody talk about putting a potato on the barrel, you haven't realized like that's a homemade way to have a silencer. Because this is going to alert everybody.
As a kid, I was like, what do you do? Oh! That was my. I was like, oh.
That's how you make mashed potatoes.
Damn, nigga, that's murder. With a potato. Wow, nigga, fries. And then mashed potatoes. And then fucking brains.
They killed my man. They call him Spud. They killed Spud. They killed Spud.
Where the fuck was I headed before? When you talked about like your recent thing about talking about like information, us getting on one accord, you know, to a degree.
Right.
I feel like that requires people, and I feel like it's kind of like a long thing. Buckle up, kids.
Yeah, just grab some popcorn. Y'all ain't going nowhere. You here till 12 anyway.
And even after 12, you can still be at the house.
Right.
But I don't feel like it's not a new year, new you, new anything if you didn't challenge or question any of your core beliefs, traditions,
right,
values, thought processes. Like if you didn't question them and go, I'm gonna just treat this shit like it's 100% wrong, then one, it can't be a new year, new you, and two, I think that kind of might hinder those from like us getting on the same page. Because like, bro, I got the information right here in front of you, or ma'am, or whoever,
right?
What he, they, them, so on and so forth. But if you look at it and you are like, I'm still not gonna, this is who I am, this is what I believe, this is whoop-de-doop. Well, nigga, I could have the facts of life in front of you, all the answers, but because you won't step out of your perspective or whatever you think makes you you, and you're not really in a growth and change, all right, this is the growth here. This is the pain of, damn, nigga, my whole way I thought about this is fucking wrong.
Right. Or
it may not have been wrong for all these years, but in 2021, complete fucking trash. But if you don't have like the ability to go, hey man, I might have to flip all this shit over as far as what goes on in my brain, then one, you can't really be like new, you can't really benefit whatever, and I feel like it would halt us all from, nigga, we all on the boat, like everybody on the boat to greatness, and you just, but water, you know, like I don't like it.
Water everywhere, and not enough to drink.
What? So yeah, you guys take that with you.
I'll add on to that and say that I think as individuals, not even just in our community, but as individuals, we have this pressure that once the new year starts, this new year, new me has to begin immediately, and I need the results by summer. It could have taken you, like today is the last.
Happy New Year, Jackie.
Happy New Year, Jackie. This is the last day of this year, or within the approaching hours. It could have taken you this entire year until this moment to actually figure out something that helped you grow and start a new seed being planted for next year. It doesn't have to have this self-added pressure of things have to happen immediately. You can start cultivating now. You can start the process now, but you may not end up bearing the fruit until the very last minute. You may work 364 to be able on 365 to really enjoy everything that you've worked for. So I think that's part of it. Not just challenge it, but be patient with it. Allow it to come into fruition. Allow it, and be happy with, even if it's just, I planted this seed 364 days ago, and today one leaf sprouted. That's still progress.
This is a body positive space. But I would like to relay this message of what was just said to you motherfuckers who are going to fucking just just bombard this nice. We only got a couple of them. Like, you have to keep them clean, but you fucking liars are gonna be in that bitch on fucking Friday, just taking up space, and you're gonna be fucking around till March, and you're gonna ruin it. So, not to say don't come, but you motherfuckers better act right. All right, that's it.
I mean, normally I exercise that sentiment, and I agree with that. But the beauty of this year, I went and bought weights, and I got them at the house since February.
Like, I'm
so,
I feel this year has also, like, I'm like bougie as a lifter, because it's like I'm only really going because I like these specific machines.
Right.
But I realized, like, damn, this shit is not a necessity. It was also pretty, like, that potentially if everything were to be like, shut it down tomorrow, I'm like, okay, I'm going to just go back over here and not skip a beat. I'm not going to be like, oh, my God, I'm losing. I have to now learn how to, like, rock climb and fucking do handstand push-ups, which is not bad. But
I mean, that speaks to something that we all have the ability to utilize, that we all should be able to tap into more, which is adaptability. So for me, on a personal note, when the pandemic first started, granted, I was in the gym every day. Couple health complications, so I wasn't where I wanted to be. I had to shift perspective and focus. Pandemic, gyms get shut down, have to be at home, haven't bought weights yet. What the fuck am I going to do? My perspective said, hey, stupid, you got some health issues. Start working out to address those health issues. Then when I got weights, I can incorporate these things, and I can incorporate these things. I have set foot in the gym this entire year, with the exception of January, from February to now, maybe 5 times, all of which were between February and March. And I still lost weight, more muscle mass, lean muscle. Like, I've still gotten gains. My flexibility is a lot better than it was last year. My body fat percentage is down. My health is increased. All these things because I shifted my perspective from saying, oh, I don't have no gym, I can't work out. Like, no, you can still work out.
I like Fat Albert mad in the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Fat Albert mad about the gym being closed. Sick.
There's nothing I could do. I've had that discussion with a lot of people because people didn't tap into their ability to realize, like, well, the gym's been closed and I haven't been able to buy any weights. Like, you can figure out how to build a bomb on YouTube. I'm sure you can find a workout routine on there.
Yo, it's niggas and this is not, like, there's villages of giant buff niggas in Africa picking up rocks. They put rocks on, like, fucking stone and just say,
and just made it work. I've seen people at the beginning of the pandemic when people were running out buying weights, people were selling concrete weights that they made at home. They figured out a way, this is what people need. I can make money doing this, utilizing something that I don't have. Adaptability. Taking, your proverbial lemons and making lemonade, whatever you want to utilize to help yourself understand that perspective. But you have the ability to, but we became pacified with focusing on our boundaries and our shortcomings as opposed to realizing that those, one, they're temporary, two, they're not as pacifying as you think they are because you can easily surpass them if you tap into your ability to be abundant in whatever capacity you need to. Lots of people have done that. You still have, in the grand scheme of this year, as many women as we've seen create OnlyFans, there's just as many that have started selling them goddamn bands that you put around your legs and you to like. People
Some
have
of them
figured
do that on OnlyFans. Those the merging.
Yes, the duality. Yeah. Not only can I bust this ass open on screen, I can do it with the band and work out.
Shout out
in
like
a G-string on my OnlyFans.
Not gonna lie.
2 things.
I saw a meme the other day, and it was like, never in my life have I known a woman or a girl to like make the whole class laugh. And it was like a couple memes like you just have never found like a super funny woman or whatever. And then I had then I remember Patrice saying a joke like that, and I went and watched that and then laugh. But to combat that, the women who made OnlyFans and then were on the OnlyFans doing shit like making pancakes and hoodies or some shit, those motherfuckers might have made the whole class laugh. Because that shit, when I heard that shit was happening, yo, that shit is funny as fuck to me. Like, I thought that was funny as fuck. So, word to those entrepreneurs and fucking assholes, man. Like,
trolls.
Yeah.
Which has been a big thing for this year. Which I appreciate. So, one that I noticed, because when what the fuck is the name of that show? Wildin' Out. When that was a thing and all that, and everybody was trying to be funny. So, what's her name? T. Hi, my name is T.
Oh yeah.
Light skinned girl. That right. She transitioned to having an OnlyFans. But she's on there basically trolling because she's not showing much, and dudes are like angry. Like I've seen comments of dudes like, "Where's she going?" Like you're stupid for paying, and she ain't showing you nothing yet.
If you followed her page, like I had followed her for a while, and then I just kind of like any model I've ever followed, like they got like a good 6 weeks out of me because they just get boring after a while. But hers was more of a pull because I'm like, oh, you're funny sometimes.
Yeah, she's just goofy as hell.
Sometimes like I might not be, but like I was like, okay, like, but if you watch her stuff, which is like you motherfuckers aren't really paying attention. If I would look at her and never would go, this is the motherfucker that's gonna bust the pussy open. Like she's gonna be on here maybe doing a little more of what she does on her page, like maybe where she dropped a video on her page and they like kicked it off because it was too much skin or something. She's gonna put that up on OnlyFans. But do I think she's gonna be sitting up here putting fucking cucumbers up her ass? No, nigga, what's wrong with y'all?
And you created that expectation of thinking that that's what you were going to see. And then you paid your $17.99 or whatever the fuck you paid for it. And you're disappointed because you're not seeing what you were never going to see in the first place.
This is started, and I want this to immediately stop. Is
OnlyFans?
OnlyFans can, whatever. I'm not going to tell anybody not to hustle, get their money. And also, I'm not really like gonna give anybody $40 or no shit to
not at all.
So it just doesn't really affect me. Stay in your lane, folks.
I don't do that in person at the strip club, so I'm definitely not gonna do it virtually.
Yeah, like Pornhub exists or whatever
for free.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. Like you could find like somebody who's I mean, I guess like it's a little less appealing. You ain't never gonna fuck this person like,
at all.
Yeah, like jerk off. Like
you could pay $50 for a custom video where they say your name. You're still not. You're not gonna get a whiff of none of that. You're stupid. At least at the club, you can at least touch and think.
But I feel like y'all are also the same niggas who are moaning on Clubhouse, and I want that shit to cut it out. Women, men, whatever, stop that shit. Like freaks only. Y'all be in there like, yeah, I like nipples. Cut this fucking shit off, bro. Like. If y'all not making people laugh,
that
like,
sounds good.
I'm calling all y'all corny. This shit's weird. Like, I mean, whatever gets you off, whatever. But nigga, I be thinking like, like if I hear nigga, I'm getting mad bitches off Clubhouse. Tell me about real estate. There's a real estate group. Like the next group over is, like, anything, bro. Like there's a group down there.
Swipe right one time.
There's a group at the bottom talking about like spiritual anything, bro. They just laughing in there. You want to hear that? Like. That might not even be her in that pic in that. What's wrong with you niggas, bro? Like, stop that shit.
Oh, you cooking food? Describe it to me.
Yeah.
That sounds good. That sounds real good. Oh, I wish I could taste that right now. Sir.
I bet you, you know what? I bet you when they were like debating about like why should they increase the fucking stimulus? Mitch McConnell walks in with his Clubhouse account and said, "These niggas are in here moaning at each other. You want to give them $2,000,
and they're giving each other money for it, and you think I want to give you a stimulus check for that?
$2,000 no." And they was like, you know what, Mitch, nigga, motherfucker got a point.
That's a goddamn. That's another thing.
That's why the shit didn't go.
If I'm not mistaken, I saw an article where that was part of his argument, where he used social media to say, "Why the fuck are we giving them so much money? Look at what these people are doing."
That's an evil nigga.
You guys, it is evil, but we can't get mad when we shooting ourselves in the foot. You can't say it's no fun when the rabbit got the gun, but when the rabbit's shooting his goddamn self.
Oh man,
you goddamn. Idiots. But that's one thing I do want to see, not just leave this upcoming year, but leave in general, is us self-sabotaging. Us figuring out a way to take something that can be potentially great for us and just using it for all kinds of just filth. Like, you can search so much information on Google, but I'm going to search porn without using incognito mode.
Hilarious.
You idiot. There's a resource for this over here. That's not what this part is for. Delegate that energy over there and delegate this energy for what this is supposed to be.
Yeah, that's extreme level. Like, that's another thing that happened in this pandemic. And everybody's pent up, so, I guess you get a little bit of a pass, but, like, what was that dude who like jacked up? Like I've seen 2 videos where it was like fun, like they were jokes, but that really happened, right? Like a dude was like, "Fuck, man, glad that Zoom meeting's over." Finna. And it's like, man, not to say that you can't jack your dick at any time that you want to jack your dick. My thing is, my nigga, your horny level said surpassed. Let me just shut some of this shit off first. Like, nigga, it was 2 clicks and then
Hormone monster. You know what you should do right now?
That nigga said right now.
Cindy Lou Who looks really good on that Zoom. Just pull your cock out. Pull your cock out right now. Just turn the camera off and just stroke it just a little bit. She'll never know. It'll take all of 15 seconds.
Like, oh yeah, she's up there. She said, "You're gonna balance that motherfucking budget." Yeah, we're gonna really reallocate resources. Yeah, that's.
And the camera was on, sir. The camera was on.
Crazy.
The camera was on. Oh.
Like
shit.
I low key don't even think. Not even look. I don't even think he was trying to be a creep. What? This shit is God. That's another thing that fucked up niggas. Old people that was like, damn, bro, I only use this shit to type on Microsoft Word and then look at horny co-eds. Like, God, now I gotta. This is crazy. I feel like you might have should on Zoom or in these meetings. Like every company should have gave, they employees like, bro, you get like a 2 dick or two titty like, window of like fuck up. Like, look, now this is like a get it. Now James, this is the second time we didn't seen your balls. Now one more, and then you're getting, you getting fucking written up. Or
Not
whatever.
only that, but even worse, your kids is learning on Zoom, and you're in the background getting dressed butt ass naked for your kids' class to see.
That's another thing too. This is like a really big reach. Can we please, just for every mother with her titties on her kid forehead teaching the math, can we get like 7 more posts of like, a 13-year-old advanced physics PhD or whatever? Because shit, boy, that shit, you seeing that shit like 1,000. I'd be like, damn, nigga, like I didn't even know there was a 12-year-old boy who invented like, interdimensional travel last week because he got 7,000 posts. Fucking mom titties over here is at 3 million.
3 million on replay. Just loop that one more time. No, loop it again. Matter of fact, zoom in, HD clarity. Good, clear all that out. Okay, now do it one more time. Like we don't need to see that. We don't need to see that. What we do need to see, like you said, we need to see an abundance of all the positive things that are going on in our community. That's another thing I would like to see. So even just to tie it into something more specific. Hello.
I feel like as long as they can,
as long as they can hear, it doesn't matter. It's
here,
been going on the entire time. I
we
just feel like acknowledging it for once. But to get more specific, what are, let's say, I don't know, to be cliche, 5 things that you would like for yourself or as a community or whatever the case is in this upcoming year to see either happen or that you can do or however you want to answer it. But
I mean, for sure, like the work we've been putting in here to definitely like increase. There are things that we discuss that, is always, and I feel like sometimes that might be arrogance or like leaning back in the fact that I trust our work ethic when things happen to just go, it'll happen when we're in a good space and kind of going, we can kick ourselves in the ass up, but like do it now. Like you might not just do it now. Do it right now so that y'all can expand in the ways we discuss. So
right.
To, just be more, I guess, determined in that, taking that aspect to other things like, making sure like I'm focused on school. Cause sometimes I'll even get, once again, arrogant with like, oh, I'm good. But having like, just making sure like don't get lax. Don't let up. Keep the same, if not more so, like keep working like you're from a space of, I really ain't done shit because I really ain't done shit. Like, kind of be able to balance that of enjoy my wins, don't undermine them, don't not whatever, and also be like, all right, man, you can still, but you want to win some more, you want to do a little bit more of that. As a community, I would like us to not shit on each other as much, and I would like us to come at things from spaces of, all right, man, how do we fix this? I would like us as a unit to be, I think, and not to sound like, Debbie Downer, I make memes now. So, like, I get all the bullshit. But I think understanding that, just getting deeper and making even, like, the mental health aspect, understanding that these things do shape perspectives, understanding that too much of this, whether you know it or not, even with the spirituality thing, words have spells. If niggas ain't shit, you just said niggas ain't shit 10 times straight, niggas gonna start not being shit. I don't give a fuck what he does. If bitches ain't shit, she could be a motherfucking, none superhero biologist, bitches still ain't gonna be shit. So being more aware of how we address in our own mind states with how we look at stuff, stop doing things to, like we said earlier, to confirm your bias, being more objective. I would like objectivity and accountability to be bigger things, and empathy, the ability, being able to look at somebody else, step in other people's shoes, be empathetic, all that shit.
As a community.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's at the same time, we can be selfish as a community. There's nothing that says, all right, man, we know y'all. We get it. We do know y'all had whatever the fuck y'all going through. And not a diss, but we're going to handle us. Then we can get to y'all. We can fully Wakanda that bitch this year.
Right.
Once again, rest in peace to the great Chadwick. But Wakanda said we're going to take care of self almost to an extreme degree, but still we're going to take care of self. And then we might not necessarily give you guys the cure to cancer or, the super suits. We're going to allocate some funds. We're going to help y'all get on your feet and then work with people because we're going to meet you where you're at. We just know we're not hoarding information anymore, but we also know that you're not ready for that. So we're not going to judge you. We're going to meet people where they are and work from there, especially if you care about it.
Right. I can rock with that.
I think that was more than 5, but
it doesn't matter. It's all in information. It doesn't have to be specifically 5. I'm more so just asking to facilitate the conversation. Because I shared the same sentiments, whether it's on a communal aspect or whether it's a personal aspect. Those are things that I definitely resonate with. Like whatever it is that you learned or you became aware of this year, start implementing the next step for next year.
Yeah, don't get comfortable in that.
Don't.
That's what I would like us to do. To apply some of these things we say, but like beyond finances. Like you'd be like, stay hungry. Like you just said, like what we're doing now. If you're doing something positive, make sure you keep that going for the next so on and so forth. But niggas only really say that shit when it's like on the grind. You might be having like a really good job, but you did something this year to mend your traumas. You did something this year to step out of the whatever space you're in. Keep doing that because just because you're, a couple years ago, I'd have bashed that motherfucker's face in. A couple years ago, I would have slashed his tires. Well, great. What else? Like you did that. That was great for 5 or 6 years ago. You've traversed from that. Well, now what you're in now is stagnation. You need to move from that space into a better space.
You were able to take a couple steps. Like you made it up one flight of stairs and then you just stopped. Mm-hmm. You haven't gotten to the door. You haven't jimmied it open. You haven't arrived yet. So realizing that you have not arrived and there's still more that you need to do to be able to reach your destination, whatever that destination may be, that's something that that's a whole nother conversation. No, it's true. We can have that now. But whatever, the destination is always going to be fleeting. Because when you reach another level, you're always going to have a different perspective. Like if you get up higher, you realize, oh shit, there's more stuff up here. You get up higher, you realize there's more stuff. Like you're going to keep transcending until you can no longer transcend. And when you can no longer transcend, that means you're dead. Because as long as you are alive, you have the ability to grow and transcend to another level. That's something that people have to realize. But for right now, if you're on step 2, let's not even look amongst the clouds. You're not there yet. Let's just focus on step 3. That's your next destination. And then step 4 and so on and so forth. That's something I would like people to apply. And that's speaking even to myself, because even within this year, there's a lot of things that I've learned and became aware of, or I was aware of them in previous years and I've put them into practice this year. And now this next year is like, all right, I put into practice, I adjusted it, I normalized it. Now I have to start surpassing whatever it is that I did this year. Now that I got that corrected within this 365, this next 365 is to add on to it or make it more abundant. So that's definitely something that we all need to apply in some perspective, in some capacity. And that's definitely something that I'm going to do. And that's definitely something that we need to do as a unit within the show, because we bounce around ideas all the time. And then, like, all right. Mm-hmm. And we talk about it. We are human too, people. Just to let y'all know, like, as much.
I feel like, we're just as shitty on ourselves as we are with you guys.
As much advice or perspective as we give you guys, we have these same thoughts, and sometimes we can become a little apathetic in certain regards. So,
look, man,
it happens.
I'm not saying it's always great, but like Dr. Manhattan, bro. Like, come on, man. This year alone, you've had. I don't care who you are. You don't even know the character. You had a Dr. Manhattan moment this year. You've just been like, goddamn boy, like Mars, space, nobody, building glass sculptures.
Within the grand scheme of this year and Dr. Manhattan, this has been a Dr. Manhattan year for me.
Oh no, this would prove his point. He's like, humans. I'm out. Like,
right. And no, I mean, I've actually, like, granted, I can't go to space clearly, but especially once I left the main job, with the exception of being here to record, I'm normally at home by myself. And I've done that because that's something that I needed to focus on for my own self-betterment this year, focusing on my spirituality and my holistic health, my actual health, my emotional health, paying attention to all these things in solitude. Granted, I spend a lot of time by myself, but I can be by myself in past, I was by myself because of insecurities. I isolated myself for negative reasons. This year, I isolated myself for positive reasons. So when it comes to Dr. Manhattan, people be like, I just need some time away. I have been away in my house. Well, I'm at the house. Why? Because I need to be.
That's also like a point of like using things and what is like quality over like quantity. Because it's like if you're at the house and say you're at the house, it's a pandemic, you might literally be at the house 24 hours. But some people might be like, I've been to myself for whatever, but like you just had a lot of hours isolated, but like you didn't really spend a lot of time focusing and tapping in. Like, it ain't saying like, unless you're like a monk and super into it, you might spend 20 hours really tapped in. That's not like impossible. But if you said every day, I'm going to give myself an hour to really tap in, touch base. How am I thinking? How am I feeling? Why am I thinking? Why am I feeling? Now we getting somewhere. And then now, like, maybe the first hour at the start of, or whenever you started this, you really barely got through a couple thoughts. By the time you get to 6 weeks of doing that hour, boy, I got shit set for like the next month or so because I know how to.
You took that time to make sure that things were more efficient. And I'm not going to say that I spent 24 hours in the house. I definitely, for those that have been listening or paying attention most of this year, I've done social activities, which is something else I needed to work on. But the ability to realize how to balance it, to putting more effort into those things, those are things that I did for me. I know that I needed to. The biggest takeaway from that being the implementation of whatever it is that you are understanding. On a personal note, I know, being here, this is something that in the grand scheme of setting up in 2017 so 2021 can be your year, we talked about this in 20 fuck. Yeah. And it's here now.
14?
Yeah. In the grand scheme of the year, this year represented a lot of loss, a lot of transition, a lot of understanding. Well, we've gone through that here on the show, which has led to me being here, which is not an entirely bad thing, no disrespect, but it's also showing us how we can progress it in different ways as well. Had certain situations not happened, I'd still be a guest, probably.
Yeah, it would be like, it would have taken us longer to do this. It would have been like, now we have to set this up over here and make this its own, independent thing. And to speak to that point, that was even a conversation we had, Vulnerability Day. That was even a conversation we had about how this is viewed, because this is a new aspect. Will this change? Will this lose? Getting comfortable with that change, with the loss of that aspect. Right. And, all right, there's a new dynamic. We got to get used to a new dynamic. We know this dynamic, and even that, like, we knew this dynamic as, nigga, we're going to go talk all day on Instagram. We're going to go sit somewhere and get some food. But now, shit, we have this dynamic, and we're, like, fucking personalities now. Like, we have to, like, oh, shit, like, this is...
I gotta nurture this thing. Like, this is...
Like, somebody, yeah, like, we go home and somebody, be like, hey, man, like, motherfuckers messaged me about what we said. Be like, yeah, that's weird. Like,
but I mean, that's something that it was unexpected. It's something that we were thrown into, but it's also something that we wanted, and now we have to adjust to. Like, going back to what I said as far as adaptability is concerned, that's something that we both have demonstrated, the ability to be adaptable and adjust and make sure that things, okay, instead of getting rid of it because woe is me and things have changed and I'm uncomfortable with this change, leaning into that change, as we have said many times throughout this year on the show. It's really a thing here. Leaning into that discomfort to help put things on a different trajectory, which we have to reevaluate, of course, now for this year going into the next. We were able to adapt this year to get it to be what is now present in front of you that you're able to view on all these different platforms or listening to on the Good News Radio app live if you download the app. If not, you have to listen to our live because you don't know how to follow instructions, whatever the case may be.
Stop that shit in 2022.
Yeah, stop not following instructions. Read the back. Like your food, you read the label. You don't read the label. That's why you eat what the fuck you want to eat. And that's why body positivity over there. On this side, not so much. I'll talk to you guys next year about that. Yeah. Saturday is a new year. I'll come in a much more like, fuck you guys, fire and brimstone.
We're going at your fucking fat.
Yeah,
or skinny or whatever.
I'll do that on Saturday. This is more of a somber, reflective episode, so bear with me until Saturday. I'll be back. But that's something that we have learned how to do, and something that we have to now master. As far as whatever our next step, our next level is going to be, because we don't know what the end destination is going to be for this. We know what we would like. We can write down and try to manifest whatever it is, both separately and as a collective, what we would like that to be. But we definitely have to implement. And then when we do implement, we don't know whatever the fuck. Because even, like, say, in the grand scheme of Joe Budden podcast, they didn't know what's the fuck. And
even
then,
like, yeah, shit, even Joe's trajectory. Like, imagine Joe probably having these thoughts and feelings when he was a rapper.
right.
And then just one day was like, pod. Like, you know, just using people in our field that are at the tippy to have, you know, like, fucking Charlamagne talks to politicians and shit. Like, it used to just be like, so why you, so did you let him fuck you in the ass? Like, you go, did you let him fuck you in the ass guy? To the mental health guy, to the fucking whatever. And still, when you want to, get back in, you did that to fuck you in the ass guy.
Hey, I started off as a holistic wellness coach, and now I have an OnlyFans where I talk about spirituality naked. Whatever the case is, however you adapt, it's completely up to you. The world is your oyster, and that speaks even to us. So I'm sure we're nearing the end of this. Whatever.
We're close. We actually got like. Oh no, we're oh shit, 7-8. I completely forgot like the time frame of our show. We're over as fuck. Sorry. Anyways, did not pay attention that Keith's gonna shoot us. We're gonna get more Doom. I'm not even picking it from whatever. New year, same nigga.
New year, no, same me, just a little bit more improved in comparison to last year.
That shit great. Kevin Gates said, he was like, right game, wrong nigga. I don't know what that meant with nothing, but I just like how hard he says it.
He says everything extremely aggressive. We'll continue that in the new year as well. But welcome to the end of this year. All the gloom and doom, no pun intended, that you thought was going to happen in this year, it did. And guess what? It's going to happen in next year too, but it's for your betterment. Don't look at it negatively. It's all going to be a positive thing if you look at it as such. So you can positively tune back in on Saturday where we can talk about all these new ideas that you've been having for the last 48 hours as to how you want this year to go. We'll be here to talk about ours as well. So as you have done a lot this year, and we appreciate it, continue to do it on Saturday when you join us again here on Just a Dope Ass Podcast. We will see you guys later on Saturday afternoon. Have a blessed, safe, slightly ratchet new year.